JRPGs with turn-based combat don't exactly have the highest form of thrill, even though you are fighting a big monster or a dragon, your sworn enemy since birth, the god of every physical being. You are presented with a menu while you wait for them to attack. How fun. This is why music is important. Turn-based or not, a good soundtrack can liven up any battle. Enter the Persona series. With some of the most unique music, these games have found a way to make every single battle into a performance. So today we'll be ranking the battle music in each Persona game from worst to best. Again, only doing mainline Western releases and re-releases, no spin-offs, so you will not be seeing Q or Strikers on this list. And while writing this, it was just announced that Shoji Meguro is leaving Atlus. What the hell, happy 25th anniversary, am I right? So what better time to go over some of his best works. Nothing against Revelations, but again, this was still in the transition period from mainline SMT, and the music reflects that. It stays relatively grounded and keeps to a sequential sound font, and that's perfectly fine and very common to a lot of PS1 JRPGs from the era, but the energy feels more traditionally hostile rather than comfortably combative, dancingly dangerous, and I worked really hard on this one. Fistfully funky. Long story short, I don't hate this, but for its place among the Persona series, it doesn't stand out to me. It's the same for Persona 2 Innocent Sin on the PSP, although here the guitar is saturated beyond hell, and while half of me likes this feeling of getting amped up for the enemy battles, the other half of me wanted to tear my ears off by the time I was done with this game. A big issue with Persona 2 is the random encounter rate, in which Atlus decided to turn that shit to max, and that was still the case for the PSP version, so it's not uncommon to move 5 feet, hear the and then move 5 feet, and again. So while it is battle music that fits, you can only get me so hyped up to hit the auto battle option for the 1000th time in a row. Eternal Punishment is next. I like how hand in hand the intro goes with Innocent Sins, I really do, but after that it feels very much lacking in comparison. The song's emptiness coming from instruments that don't stand out nearly as much like Innocent Sin's guitar. And this is actually kind of a good thing that correlates with the atmosphere of Eternal Punishment, so go play it, and demand that Atlus release the PSP version on Steam. Thanks so much.
Show me your true form.
There's a very common trend within the music of Persona that when a game is re-released, they create a new battle theme that uses the same instruments or same sound font for a degree of familiarity. Persona 5 Royal's Takeover is just that, with violins and violin. On the lyrical side, it fits very well with the Phantom Thieves, but on the instrumental side, it just falls a little flat to me, especially compared to its older sibling. The intro is super robust, I will give it that, but after that, the song develops in a very predictable, upward way with a chorus that doesn't really clean it up, and it all just feels so generically full of itself. Although I guess that's not really an issue, considering half the time the battles are over before the chorus. But still, Takeover could use a makeover. What does everyone always say about Persona 4? It's too bright, it's too happy, it's too yellow. Persona 4 Part 4 SMT 5. Oh! That comes out in like a week. Persona 4's Reach Out to the Truth is a flashy, candy-filled tribute to J-pop that is so catchy, but this is the only time that I will say on this list that it's not that great for the context of battle. The guitars help. Watching Chie's idle animation helps. The instrumental solo after the chorus is probably the best thing about the song. I just kinda dislike it for the same reason I dislike most pop, and that's because it plays 1,000 times over. Yes, this is an issue most JRPGs have, but when it's pop music, it drives me up a wall. Completely personal thing. But I'm giving it bonus points because I love this song every time it is not this song. The emotional piano cover that plays during heartfelt cutscenes progresses very well, and also without hearing it 1,000 times over through the course of the game, the Genesis would not have had the impact that it did, and that might be my favorite final boss theme in the series. Keep an eye out for my ranking all the Persona final boss themes, for fuck's sake. Like with Takeover, Wiping All Out uses the framework of mass destruction and rearranges it. We see the return of hip-hop, horns, Lotus Juice rapping. But the singer is a brand new girl, and that correlates with the brand new girl that is the female protagonist, the only time you will be hearing this song. It's kind of a shame they only used this song for Persona 3 Portable and it didn't make a return for DLC in 5, especially considering how expensive this game is now, but this really is it. I give a lot of credit to the drumline here for it just shaking the track up into high energy. Like, what can I say, those big booms at the beginning just make me want to beat the piss out of some shadows. Now, where Persona 4 fell, Persona 4 Golden picked up the torch with Time to Make History, which invites the singer back for a catchier tune. She has like a pseudo-rap verse in the first half. Since we're dealing with Persona 4, there's lots of upbeat energy that can be felt in the chorus with as from here the melody literally goes upward. I think this is phenomenal and combos well with the visual of each character taking their turn, the figurative stepping up to the plate. On the topic of lyrics, I think Reach Out to the Truth fits more with the game's elements of facing yourself and the murder mystery stuff and all that. Time to Make History's lyrics definitely aren't as applicable to any specific events within the game, but are more so about the player playing the game for all the meta that's worth. But something about this song doesn't get nearly as annoying when repeated, unlike Reach Out to the Truth, and because of its role in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, I think it's especially appropriate in Smash Brothers. Persona 1 on the PSP occupies this weird territory of a good remake and unfaithful remake. It was done after the success of Persona 3 and 4, but Atlus worried that those audiences may have a hard time getting into its core RPG mechanics. So they went ahead and removed the original music and replaced it with J-pop-esque songs like 3 and 4 had to smoothen out the transition. This did not sit well with lots of people who preferred the original track or a remaster sounding close to it, but what we did get out of it was a solid piece. You already heard how the original battle theme sounded, and this is what they replaced it with. It's not a match at all, but Lone Prayer is still a perfect fit. I love the singer's range. When the song starts, I always thought it was a male singer before she lifts her voice and it is revealed that they are instead female. The lyrics almost exclusively pertain to the Snow Queen quest, but since this was the first time it was available in the US, I can get behind that. I love this music, it's very suitable for fighting, and although it may not sound like the original, there's no denying it's still a banger. Can you imagine the pure shock when Persona 2 fans booted up Persona 3, got into battle, and were hit with some of the smoothest flow ever heard in a video game? Mass destruction is literally mass destruction. Lotus Juice has destroyed everything in his path and topped it off with one of the catchiest drops featuring Yumi. Personally, rap music was not the genre I would have chose conceptually to tag alongside Persona 3, but Shoji Meguro bodied this, and it's why we love and miss him. He has pop, he has jazz, he has rap, he has hard rock, he has tribal chanting. And yes, that joke applies to Strange Journey, but it also applies here because it's so much repetition, just the same lyrics over and over and over again. They never stop repeating it. And so what does Persona 3 FES do? Why, of course, they repeat the repetition. It's the same thing. Lotus Juice just has a different verse that acts somewhat as a continuation, but I appreciate the isolated horns at the beginning that make for a smoother intro, and that's why I put it a step above. Seriously though, all jokes aside, Mass Destruction is a straight jam that puts the creativity of Meguro and everyone involved into a showcase. I remember the first time I heard Last Surprise in the game's second trailer that introduced Yusuke. This version was only instrumental, but it cemented itself inside my head as a forecast for what the music of Persona 5 would be like, and I was not let down. Last Surprise is Shoji Meguro and Lin at their greatest creative pursuit, with the lyrics detailing the art of the counterattack, snowballing into the quintessential divine chorus. You never see it come back. And at this point, there is nothing in the way of our singer, or the violins, or the guitars, or the trumpets. It is the peak of the entire ensemble, and it is so goddamn amazing. This song is wildly popular, easily the most recognizable song from our list today, but for very good and obvious reasons. It fits the theme of Persona 5 well, and it exposed players to a whole new genre of music that was acid jazz. It became so popular, it even hit meme status. Because of this, I know a lot of people now have gotten sick of it, especially if you played through Persona 5 and you kill enemies so fast that all you hear is. But there is no denying that this is a masterpiece and a crucial figure in the Persona discography. I have a lot of hot takes, but I'm siding with the masses here because let's face it, they're right. Persona 6, good luck, because it's going to be hard to top this one.